Welcome back to another video by me, The Witcher George. Today, we're actually going to be talking about The Witcher. So as you can tell by my name, I really like The Witcher, and I've been a big fan of The Witcher for a very long time. I love playing The Witcher 2, I love playing The Witcher 3, I actually went back and played The Witcher 1, which was still pretty fun, a little bit clunky, but I recently saw some news, well, recently meaning quite a while ago, that I wanted to make a video about. So as you can tell by the title, today I'm going to be discussing which actor I think should play Geralt in the new Witcher TV series by Netflix. So as you know, there was the original Witcher TV series called The Hexer, I think, but it wasn't very good and it was quite old and poorly made. At least a lot of people didn't really like it. I personally haven't bothered to go and watch it. I was just interested in the books and the games, and I wasn't interested in watching that. But there's been a lot of talk about who should actually play Geralt, because a lot of us who've played the games, read the books, Geralt's quite like a dear character to us, and we don't want him to just be played by anybody. It has to be someone that we see and think, yeah, that looks like Geralt, that sounds like Geralt, they've done his personality well. So today I just thought I'd go through a few actors that I personally think could play Geralt, and that, that I'd be pretty happy with playing Geralt. This isn't a top 10 video, I'm just going to be talking about actors that I think would be, acceptable. I'm also going to be talking about actors that a lot of people are throwing into the mix that I don't really agree with, and I'll explain why, and, you can comment down below what you think about it all. So the first actor that I think would make a pretty good Geralt was Hugh Jackman, and I know he's, a very famous actor, his face is very recognisable as the Wolverine, but if you actually look at some pictures of him, you could really picture him playing Geralt. And as we know from films like X-Men, Van Helsing, and many other films he's been in that I just can't bother to list them all out. Eddie the Eagle, remember the one? He's actually a really good actor. I'm sure that he could use his acting skills to portray Geralt pretty well. Another actor that I think could play Geralt pretty well is Tom Hardy. So we saw him in Suicide Squad, and that film wasn't that good, but I personally think that his character was alright in it. We all seen him in films like The Revenant, Batman, and many other films which I can't bother to go into, but just from the way that I think he plays this wide range of characters, and just from the way he looks, I think he could make a pretty good Geralt. I've named 2 actors that I actually like so far. I've got a couple more, but I just wanted to talk about some actors that people have thrown into the mix that I don't really agree with. So the first one that people are saying is Mads Mikkelsen, and we've seen him in things like Doctor Strange, Star Wars. I mean, he's been in absolutely loads of films. And just for me personally, when I look at him, I don't see Geralt. I think he might be a little bit too old. I think he might be a little bit just the wrong body type, wrong sort of face shape. I mean, I know we shouldn't be judging by looks and things, but I just think that because Geralt is an established character, people know what he looks like. You have to get someone that fits the sort of physical aspects just as well as the acting ability. It's not like he's being taken straight from the book and being made a new character. He is already an established character visually. So I think you really have to keep to that, because let's be honest, Netflix are just sort of backpacking off the success of the video games here. So they really should pay a bit more homage to it, I think, and cast someone that looks, like Geralt. Well, at least like the Geralt that we all know. Another actor that I'm seeing a lot is Viggo Mortensen, and yet again, I just don't think he would make a good Geralt. He was obviously great as Aragorn, which is amazing. He was also pretty good in The Road, I think it was called, pretty good film. But I just don't agree with him as Geralt. I think he might be a little bit too old. I don't think he really suits the video game adaptation. I know this is a new adaptation, but I'm saying that they should really pay a bit more homage to the video games. That's the Geralt people know, that's the Geralt people want, that's the one that will give them the most success. I just don't think it's a good idea. Now, with this actor, I'm sort of on the bench. I don't know if I agree with it or not, and that actor is Travis Fimmel. So if you've watched the TV show Vikings, which is really good and you should watch it by the way, you've seen him as Ragnar Lothbrok. I'm not going to reveal anything that happens in Vikings, but he doesn't play a character that's similar to Geralt at all. And honestly, I haven't seen him in anything else, so I don't know much about his ability to be able to play Geralt. He does look kind of similar. He looks a tad too young, I'd say, to play Geralt, but I'm sure they could use prosthetics and etc. to age him a little bit. Or potentially, you never know, the TV show could be about a young Geralt. We actually have no information whatsoever when the TV show is going to be set, so he could make a good Geralt depending on the setting. But I'm not sure. I think there's plenty of other choice. The actors I've named previously that I've been strongly agreed with, I think could make a better Geralt. There's one final actor that I wanted to talk about, and he's the person I think would be the best Geralt. And the final actor that I want to throw into the mix is Richard Armitage. So he looks like, I think the best way to describe him is a little bit younger Hugh Jackman. And the reason I'm putting him in is because I feel like if the TV show is set when Geralt's a bit younger than he is in the games, or in the books, this would be perfect. He has the right body type. We've seen him in The Hobbit, and he was absolutely, you know, he was pretty good in The Hobbit. He played Thorin, and he just looks like he could be Geralt. You know, you see his face shape, it would work, right? He's also got a very good acting ability, and I just think that he could really be a good Geralt. Now, those are just my suggestions. We don't know anything about what's going to happen in the TV show, so this video, I will probably do an updated one when they announce more things, like what's going to happen, who's going to be Geralt maybe, and I'll talk about it then, but for now, this is all I can really say. I might do a predictions video later on if you'd want that, about where I think about what would actually happen in this TV show, where would it be set, where would it be best to be set, possibilities. But other than that, I'd like to hear your opinions on which actors you think should be Geralt in the new Witcher series. I'd be really interested to hear your opinions, and personally, I'd like to see if you can change my mind about some of mine. Because Geralt could end up being some of these actors, and I don't want it to happen and then be disappointed. I'd rather sort of be like, you know, I can see how this could be good. If this is the first video you find on my channel, be sure to watch some more and subscribe for more. I do sort of a variety of stuff. I look at Star Wars, The Witcher, I'll be looking at loads of other fantasy things. Basically, name a fantasy thing or sci-fi, and I'll probably end up doing it when it becomes more sort of relevant, though, because a lot of people might say, oh, it's because of views, etc., and it's mainly because when something's not currently happening, it's a bit more difficult to talk about it because there's no news on it. For example, I love Lord of the Rings. The TV show for that's coming out soon, I hope, so I'd love to do a video on that, but I won't be doing it for a little while. Be sure to like and subscribe if you're new, or if you're just a subscriber, and I will see you all later.